castle crumbled overnight. I brought a knife to a gunfight. They took the crown, but it's alright. All the liars are calling me one. Nobody's heard from me for months.
Taylor Swift was sexually assaulted back in 2013 when a radio DJ reached his hand under her skirt and groped her butt. The man was fired for his actions and later sued Taylor for ruining his career. The two faced off in court in August of 2017, and a jury ruled in favor of the singer. She only got $1 in damages because she didn't care about money, she cared about justice. She said at the time, quote, "I acknowledge the privilege that I benefit from in life, in society, and in my ability to shoulder the enormous cost of defending myself in a trial like this. My hope is to help those whose voices should also be heard. Therefore, I will be making donations in the near future to multiple organizations that help sexual assault victims defend themselves." Taylor meant what she said in that statement because she recently donated $100,000 to Time's Up's Legal Defense Fund, which was created to, quote, "provide subsidized legal support to women and men who have experienced sexual harassment, assault, or abuse in the workplace and while in pursuit of their careers."
In her first of what will be multiple donations, Taylor has given an undisclosed but, quote, "extremely generous financial investment in the movement to end sexual violence," according to the charity in question. Which one is it? None other than the Joyful Heart Foundation, which was founded by Mariska Hargitay in 2004.
Taylor Swift is using her star power to help those devastated by the flooding down in Louisiana. The pop star donating $1 million to help with the relief efforts. She says she felt completely at home in the state when she kicked off her world tour from there last year. Swift says she's heartbroken at how many people have been forced out of their homes.
And sticking to her word, she started by donating $50,000 to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank.
We spare no expense.
On Thursday, the nonprofit organization thanked her, posting this Instagram. The staff is holding up a sign that says, "Thanks, Taylor," and the caption reads, quote, "Today, Taylor Swift donated $50,000 to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. The flood destroyed our warehouse, but we are going to shake it off."
Singer Taylor Swift has made another huge donation to a charitable cause, this time giving $100,000 to fund the research of pediatric cancer via the 11th annual Dick Vitale Gala.
It's come to our attention that she's also a fan of the symphony, saying that she reportedly shelled out a whopping $50,000 to the Seattle Symphony after their prize-winning song Become Ocean won her over.
Taylor Swift donates $15,000 to the firefighter who saved his own family after a horrific car crash. Volunteer firefighter Aaron Van Riper responded to a 911 call in Huntsville, Texas. He ended up saving his own wife and 7-year-old son after a head-on collision with a pickup truck. His wife Amber was hospitalized with a broken pelvis. His son Jonathan had a broken arm and leg. The family doesn't have health insurance, so a family friend set up a GoFundMe page to help raise money for their medical bills. Just 3 days later, a $15,000 donation was made under the name Taylor Swift. While it seemed it could be an internet hoax, BuzzFeed News confirms the heartfelt contribution was made by the Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift is the latest performer to speak up in support of March for Our Lives. The 28-year-old took to Instagram to share that she has donated to the cause in protest of gun violence. The Reputation singer addressed the issue, posting, "No one should have to go to school in fear of gun violence, or to a nightclub, or to a concert, or to a movie theater, or to their place of worship. I've made a donation to show my support for the students, for the March for Our Lives campaign, for everyone affected by these tragedies, and to support gun reform." She continued saying how she's so moved by the Parkland High School students, faculty, by all families and friends of victims who have spoken out, trying to prevent this from happening again.
Taylor Swift donates $4 million. Bless her heart for consistently giving back and sharing her success with others. This round, the star has chosen something that's close to her heart, the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum. We hear via The Hollywood Reporter that it is the largest gift given to the museum by an artist ever, And apparently the $4 million is set to go toward building the Taylor Swift Education Center, an exhibit and classroom to open in 2014. There are plans for a musical petting zoo, a music-inspired art room, maybe for making concert posters, as well as programs for teens and seniors. In fact, the report lays out that this is just one part of a $75 million expansion for the Country Music Hall of Fame, and this location is special to TS because it's where she made one of her first public appearances and where she officially signed her record contract.
Taylor is not only incredibly kind, but also generous. She donated $50,000 to the GoFundMe page of a young girl battling cancer named Naomi. Due to her diagnosis, Naomi was forced to miss a T-Swift concert. Taylor added a note to the donation saying, quote, "To the beautiful and brave Naomi, I'm sorry you have to miss my concert, but there will always be more concerts. Let's focus on getting you feeling better. I'm sending the biggest hugs to you and your family."
New at 10 now, a sweet video for a little boy with autism captures the attention of a big star. Two cousins made their own version of Taylor Swift's Blank Space for 5-year-old Jacob Hill, hoping to raise enough money for a service dog for Jacob. Well, the pop star saw the video and made a huge donation.
Rewrote one of Swift's songs and posted the video. It was an effort to get donations for a therapy dog for Jordan's 5-year-old brother Jacob with autism. Last week, Swift herself donated $10,000.
Taylor already knew that the fan was expecting a baby thanks to social media, so when they met in person, she was obviously super excited. Unfortunately, the girl had to tell the gorgeous singer that doctors think she will have a miscarriage and broke down in tears. The Swiftie explained on Tumblr, quote, "She just hugged me even closer and then asked me if I know why and if there's any chance that we can do something about this. I said that I had a miscarriage before, and Taylor just looked into my eyes and grabbed my hand and said that she will make sure that I get a second opinion from a doctor who's an expert and that she'll promise me to try everything to help us save our little angel." After the private performance was over, the fan went home and got an email with the name of a doctor and possible appointment dates. She then asked about how much the specialist would cost and was told, quote, "Everything is being taken care of by Taylor." The fan initially wasn't sure if she wanted to tell people about what happened because it's obviously very private, but decided to share because she wants the world to know what kind of person Taylor Swift really is. She finished the post by saying, quote, "I hope everyone reading this will think twice from now on before judging Taylor or anything she does. I will never forget that she has done this for me, and I will forever be thankful."
I wrote the song Mean about a critic who really strongly disliked me. And it's critics, like journalists, I respect that it's their job to put out constructive criticism. And I usually will take that criticism and be like, okay, maybe you're right about that. I will work on that. This critic hated me. Hated. Just like assault rifle. Just one after the other, just like missiles. Hated me. So I felt really helpless, and I felt like there's nothing I can do about this. And so I do what I always do. I go into my lonely little corner and I write a song about it.
What happens in a conversation, I think I always wonder, with celebrities, especially at her level, you know, with all the hate and all the criticism that she gets. I mean, that still gets to people, right?
Well, it's really shocking because there are some people I hang out with who, you know, when I'm with an Ariana Grande or someone, or a Beyonce, obviously, I don't think that she cares or even knows that people are commenting on her pictures.
Yeah.
Or if she, in fact, knows that she has an Instagram, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But Taylor, yeah, she's very sensitive. And I think that we were talking about this the other day, and I was like, it blows my mind that you're so humble and so sensitive, because we were hanging out at her house, and Tiffany Haddish was there, and she was saying something about some comment a kid said, and you could tell that it made Taylor's entire energy shift, because she just loves people so much and she wants everybody to understand where she's coming from. But I think it's that passion and that humble quality about her that makes her so like great at writing songs that people identify with, because she wears her heart on her sleeve, and when things happen, it really gets to her.
How does she get over it? Do you talk about ways that you guys get over that kind of thing?
I try just not to talk to her about it, because it really affects her like really negatively. She doesn't. She's human. She can hear 8 million great comments. If she sees one person not happy, it's really crazy. And every time I bring anyone around her to her house or anything, she's always like she can't even have a good time because she's making sure that everybody has like water. Do you need anything? If I fall asleep, she's the first person to go get a blanket and put it over me and be like, buddy, like, are you okay? She's like, I'm like, you're gonna be the best mom in the entire world, because she's just so thoughtful. And it's so also so crazy that when I'm around other celebrities, oftentimes it becomes a conversation about them, and almost hardly ever is it a conversation, even at an event for Taylor, does it ever become about her. She's always like, how's Broadway going? How's your new album going? How's your relationship?
Keep up with you. What's the one thing you wish you knew at 19?
If I could talk to my 19-year-old self, I'd just say, hey, you know, you're gonna date just like a normal 20-something should be allowed to, but you're going to be a national lightning rod for slut shaming.
Taylor Swift rebounded quickly, a little too quickly in my opinion. Taylor Swift never wastes any time. Her bench stays full. Does Taylor Swift enjoy looking like and being a whore? And
are you currently facing a dating dilemma? Well, don't worry, because Taylor Swift has a multi-platinum song for that. Today, after much research, we've got a roundup of all the guys that Miss Swiftie has at one point or another supposedly been romantic with. And I need to take a big breath because there are a lot of hotties on this list.
Let us know, what do you think about Taylor finally opening up about her crazy side?
Taylor also noted in the interview that she doesn't get why everyone talks about her romantic life so much, because she says she's dated a lot less people than you think, saying, if you want some big revelation, since 2010, I have dated exactly 2 people.
Taylor Swift straight up disappeared from the spotlight following the very public and somewhat embarrassing showdown with Kim K and Kanye. But now she has made her return with Reputation, and along with it, Taylor released 2 magazines in collaboration with Target that are filled with artwork, photos, handwritten lyrics, and poetry. And there's one poem in particular that seems to explicitly detail reasons why Taylor decided to retreat from the spotlight. The poem is called Why She Disappeared, and in it, she writes some pretty powerful lines about the emotional journey she went through after being dragged in the media. At one point in the poem, she echoes criticisms the media put out about her, saying, quote, your kindness is fake, your pain is manipulative.
Time's 2017 Person of the Year wasn't a person at all. The magazine gave the distinction to a group of women called the Silence Breakers. Among them was one person who might have you scratching your head, Taylor Swift. The cynical view is that Swift, whose most recent album Reputation was released just weeks ago, landed on Time's cover because she happens to sell magazines and because she's on a publicity tour around her album. In 2014, Swift didn't make matters better when she told The Guardian that she was a feminist, but we really haven't seen a lot of action to back that up. So why was Swift named one of this year's Silence Breakers, right along with Ashley Judd, who went on the record with allegations against Harvey Weinstein, and Tarana Burke, who created the Me Too campaign? In truth, one of the lesser explored cases of assault and harassment that made waves in 2017 involved Swift, and it came just before the Weinstein allegations. And this time, it wasn't Taylor Swift simply paying lip service to the idea of feminism or Me Too hashtivism. In August, she appeared in a Denver courtroom and testified against a radio DJ named David Mueller, who she alleged reached under her skirt during a concert meet and greet and grabbed her buttocks. After Swift's camp reported the incident to his employer, Mueller lost his job and then he sued Swift for defamation. Instead of settling, Swift countersued, asking for only $1, but opening herself up for a public court trial in which she and her mother testified. She was so descriptive in her testimony about what happened to her that the Denver Post suggested it might have been the highest recorded number of instances of the words ass and cheek in the courtroom's history. She told jurors, I'm being blamed for the unfortunate events of his life that are a product of his decisions and not mine. Fast forward a few months, and now Swift says that in that moment, she was angry. In Time magazine, Swift said she had watched the attorney bully and badger her team and her mother, and that she felt that they'd accused her of lying. The judge at the end of the week-long trial threw out Mueller's case against Swift. Separately, a jury awarded her $1 in her sexual assault claim against the DJ. But did she win? Swift told Time that Mueller has yet to pay her the $1, and that the experience of bringing him to trial was lonely and draining. But in this cultural moment, and standing alongside other brave women on the cover of Time, she really shouldn't feel so alone.
Kesha tweeted T saying, I support you always, and especially right now, and admire your strength and fearlessness. Truth is always the answer. Well, now Kesha is on the newest cover of Rolling Stone, and she spills some details on her friendship with the Reputation singer, saying, Taylor is a
sweetheart. Very, very sweet, very, very genuine, extremely generous. Picks up the phone every time I call her. My mom doesn't even always pick up the phone.
Girls that are looking at you now going, I want to be like Taylor Swift. I want to do what she's doing. I think she's so cool. When did you have that time that you didn't feel so great?
I don't feel great when I am fed messages, and when I was fed messages as a young girl, that it's more important to be edgy and sexy and cool than anything else. I don't think that those are the right messages to feed girls, and I think they're being given those messages by the popular cliques in their school, which is all kind of cascading down from the media and what we seem to prioritize in women. And I think that those were the times that I haven't felt good enough, because my life doesn't gravitate towards being edgy, sexy, or cool. I just naturally am not any of those things.
What are you in your head? What are you?
I'm imaginative, I'm smart, and I'm hardworking. And those things are not necessarily prioritized in pop culture.